Konnichiwa, my name is Kaori Nagao, your Las Vegas lifestyle specialist. Have you ever wondered what happens in a home inspection? In this video, I will be walking you through a full inspection as I represent my buyers on purchasing this beautiful home, half-acre lot home in Silverado Ranch. I will also be interviewing Phil Whalen, the owner of Win Home Inspections, and asking him questions on what he looks for when he's conducting an inspection. Before we meet Phil Whalen from Win Inspections, I wanted to talk to you about home inspections. When does it happen? So home inspections happens right after we open escrow. We open escrow as soon as the offer is accepted. So for this particular home, I just wanted to give you a timeline of the events that happened leading to this inspection. I was introduced to my buyers who are relocating their whole family from Seattle, Washington on June 24th. They decided to fly in on July 7th, and they visited me at my office at Tivoli Village to go over the scheduling of the plans and kind of really go through the current available listings on the MLS to identify which homes they wanted to see the next day. July 8th and 9th, I had a full day of showings. I showed a total of approximately 12 homes, 6 each day. And basically, we identified what we liked, what we didn't like on each of the showings. And at our last showing on the 9th, we were able to identify this particular home that they were really interested in and interested in making an offer. As soon as I find out that they're interested in making an offer on this home, I go back to my office and I pull the comps. The comps are basically all the homes sold in this particular neighborhood within the last 30 days, within the last 60 days. Sometimes I do have to go out to 90 days. And basically, I look at the numbers, I compare and contrast this particular property with the homes that are sold to really understand and justify the list price. The list price on this particular home was $864. I then call the listing agent and communicate with her that we are interested in this particular home. I also ask the listing agent what the seller's motivation is, what their timeline is, are they relocating, what their situation is. I think it's always really important to understand what motivates them and what their time frame is, because there are times where sellers are requesting a leaseback. A leaseback is basically when the sellers would rent back the home after close of escrow because they need more time to relocate. For this particular seller, what was important for them was not the price, it was actually commitment. What does that mean? They had actually 4 other escrows that went into this house that fell through for whatever reason. It was usually on the buyer's side, typically financing, but it just didn't work out. So for the sellers, it was really important for a buyer to be 100% committed to make sure that this home, once we go into escrow, will close. So that was what was important for them. What was also important for them is that this home is actually a second home. It's not their primary residence. The sellers are currently residing in Texas, so they just wanted a quick turnaround on the closing. So we were able to do that. And I also asked the listing agent to basically, if she was comfortable, share with me what kind of offer she had in the past so I had a better understanding of what kind of offer price to put. At that point, I was able to understand that there were actually offers below list price that they were entertaining. So I basically brought that information back to my buyers. We went over that information to have the buyers then decide what purchase price they want to put on the offer. And the purchase price that we put on this offer was actually $8K less than the list price. Now, I also knew that the listing agent was going to have an open house on July 10th, on that Saturday. So again, with having an open house, you just never know who would come into the open house and make some crazy offers, like a cash offer. So I told the listing agent that I was going to put in and submit the offer late night on the 9th. So it was Friday night at 11 p.m. when I got my buyers to sign the DocuSign and we submitted the offer. Now, that was a great move on my end because, again, I knew that there was going to be an open house the next day and I didn't want other people competing for this house. I also told the listing agent that I was going to bring my buyers to the open house towards the end and that I would wanted to, obviously hear good news from them. And, obviously if I could get a signed offer at that point, that would be great news for both parties. When we came to the open house on that Saturday, I actually arrived a few minutes earlier so I could obviously, touch base with the sellers and also the listing agent. They had signed our offer on that spot. So when my buyers came in, I had great news for them that we were in escrow, we were going to open escrow, and that we were under contract. So this is how we ended up here. And as soon as we open escrow, the first thing we do is obviously schedule this inspection. Because of our relationship with Win Home Inspections, we were able to get a quick turnaround to do this inspection on Tuesday. So here we are, July 13th, we're doing a full inspection, and we will have this inspection report turned around to us by the end of the day tonight, so that I could go over this with the family, with my buyers, and basically come up with the request for repair report. That is then submitted to the listing agent for them to go over to see what the sellers are interested in fixing before close of escrow. And I will give you a couple examples. Number one, the best case scenario is for the sellers to say, yes, we'll take care of all of them. Option number two, we've had scenarios where maybe the sellers would identify only a few items on the list and either reject or give us a credit at closing for the other items on the list. And then obviously, worst case scenario number three is when the sellers decline the repair and we have to come back to the table for negotiations. All right, today we have Phil Whalen, owner of Win Inspections, and today we are having Phil inspect my buyer's home. So Phil, how are you today?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Awesome. It's pretty hot. It's getting hot today.
It is,
morning.
you know, and it's that rare occasion where we actually have a little bit of humidity, so it's a little bit warmer than normal. So.
Absolutely. So we've been working with you for a while. You've been in business 14 years?
The company has. I've owned it for 3.5.
Oh, wonderful. So just talk to us about just inspection in general and what kind of trends you're seeing now. I know you just had your most busiest month last month.
Correct. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. June was a record-setting month. So, I mean, it's good. 3.5 years ago, we started out. We bought existing business. Had a great reputation. You know, I came out of the military. Was looking for a what next, and you know this. You know, I enjoy working on houses. Think so it was a perfect fit. But yeah, so like we're here on the buyer side. This transaction, obviously, they want to know, you know, they're buying a nice home, want to make sure everything's working.
Yes.
You know, we go through, we look at the exterior of the structure, interior of the structure, the roof, all the mechanical systems,
yes.
Plumbing, heating, air conditioning, electrical, the major appliances, water heater, you know, the stove, outlets working, doors working,
right.
You know, all that. Our intent is to inform and educate the buyer,
yes.
so they know what they're getting.
Absolutely, and I love your, you know, how quickly you get the report turned around to us. It's a very detailed report. We have the home inspection, and then, you know, usually aquatic pool inspection for
Correct.
homes that do have pools and spas. And, you know, at that point, I'll review that inspection report with my buyers, go through that, and then identify which, you know, numbers on the inspection report we would like the seller to request for repair,
right.
And have the repairs done by the close of escrow. Any other trends you're seeing right now, Phil?
I mean, so on the home inspection side, I mean, we're, you know, obviously, just as everyone in the real estate industry right now, you know, we're experiencing, you know, a sustained higher than normal tempo. The trend we notice is, you know, we can tell that it, you know, on our end, that it's a kind of a seller's market because when it's a hot market like this,
yes.
There tends to be less requests for repairs.
Correct.
And that's just kind of our indicator,
right.
of kind of which way the pendulum is swinging.
Yes.
So.
Absolutely. But even though it is a seller's market, you know, at Char Luxury, with all of my buyers, I always make sure we have a full inspection. And
absolutely.
You know, we do request, you know, we do submit the request for repair report to the sellers, and then at that point we negotiate, right?
Absolutely. And so one thing, so, you know, we've seen in some of our industry publications is you know, which actually been very fortunate in Las Vegas. We haven't seen this,
yes.
But there's been a trend in other parts of the country to waive the inspection,
yes.
Or just to do what they call a walk and talk,
yes.
Which is where you just walk through the house for a half hour and say everything looks good to me, you know,
yeah.
And but it's a non-binding
right.
inspection.
Right.
You know, fortunately, Las Vegas has really stayed away from that, which is a great thing.
Yes.
On, you know, especially for the buyer, because there has been an uptick in issues where buyers get into the home and then are discovering
right.
issues that they kick themselves and now wish they had had that inspection.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I just spoke to actually a seller on the East Coast, and she had all these offers come in, within 24 hours, 48 hours of her listing, and all of them had the inspection waived. So again, every market's different. I'm really happy that Las Vegas is not at that point yet, because we do want to make sure our buyers are buying a great home in a great condition without having to discover all these after close of escrow.
Correct. Yeah. There's sometimes surprises in life are good when just after you buy a house is not a good time.
Exactly. And one thing, what I love about Win Inspection is that I love how you guys also do the re-inspection for us.
Correct.
So what happens is after we do submit the request for repairs and the sellers make all those fixes, we then call Phil and his team to come back to the house to re-inspect the house and make sure all those repairs are done. And I absolutely love that about your team.
Yeah, I mean, it's, what we do is just, we validate that what was agreed to was done.
Yes.
Because, it's not easy for someone who doesn't do this every day to look at something and know whether it was done correctly.
Right, awesome. Any other last words for our viewers that's looking for an inspection here in Las Vegas?
Well, Win Home Inspection, we're happy to do it. We're a growing team, getting bigger, and hope to serve, Las Vegas in general as best we can. So our preference is to walk the roofs because that's the best view you can get of a roof.
Yes.
However, our licensing board doesn't allow us to climb on ladders over 12 feet high.
Yes.
So obviously we can't get up to that second floor.
Yep.
So rather than just having to say we couldn't get up there, so I got my drone license and.
Awesome. That's great. Is it pretty easy to fly a drone?
Yeah. So the level of skill it takes to fly a drone for our use is I'll have to admit is pretty simple because we go up, down, forward, backwards, and then that's all we do.
Right.
I would never be able to enter a Red Bull drone race based on my skill level, but. Of
course. Awesome. And then what are you specifically looking for on the roof?
So what I do is I take a kind of a comprehensive set of photos of the whole roof with the drone, and then you can't really see much in the viewfinder.
Right.
But then what I'll do is once I get back to headquarters is I download them, and then I can look at each photo individually on the iPad.
Right.
And I can zoom down, and I can with the drone flying at this height, I can see a cracked tile. Just a simple crack in the middle of the tile.
Sure. So you're looking for these cracked tiles. How many? At which location?
Correct. We're looking for cracked tiles because actually from right here I can see one above the garage that slipped out of place.
Okay.
So because what that has done is the tile's in good shape, but since it's slid down, it's now exposing the underlayment to the sun.
Right.
And it won't take long before the sun degrades it and it starts cracking.
Wow.
And that's when you have water leakage during rainfall.
Absolutely. And we just had rainfall yesterday, actually, surprisingly. I think it was 2 nights in a row. So yeah, we don't have a lot of rain here, but again, we want to make sure the roof is in great condition. So that's wonderful, Phil. Awesome.
Absolutely, yeah. And so we'll, and then once I get these back and added in the report, we also, even from this level, I can see if there's the proper mastic material where on the ridges where multiple tiles come together and they have kind of a sealant on there. I can even see if it's cracking so
Great.
We note that. So any area we can see where there's a potential for moisture intrusion, obviously you want to get taken care of.
There was small leaks in most of the sinks actually. So in the spare bathrooms, the Jack and Jill bathroom, and the primary bathrooms had small leaks.
Okay.
We would recommend having a plumber take a look at that.
Okay.
The air conditioning in the main house was working great. We're looking for 14 degrees difference or more. So we're getting that in the main house. Gas is working, obviously. We had small issues with the window here that the little things will be in the report. The primary bedroom, the air conditioner wasn't working for us.
Oh, okay.
So we would recommend having a AC technician come out and.
It's extremely hot in Las Vegas. We're experiencing triple digits, so having a good AC is critical here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So in the garage, we did see signs of previous leaks.
Yes.
There was no indication of moisture, but we did go upstairs and run the water to make sure that there wasn't any evidence of current leaks happening. So we would recommend contacting or consulting the homeowner about the repairs that were done.
Okay.
There was a couple of light bulbs that were out, but the water leaks under the sinks are the things that we would definitely recommend that you have a plumber come out and take a look at.
You got it.
Just caulking around the tubs.
Okay, great.
Everything will be put into the report, and
Fabulous.
you'll get the report at the end of the night.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching my video. I hope this was very useful for you. What did you all think? I'm really excited to get the inspection report so I could go over and put together the request for repair form for my buyers. And if you're curious to know what the seller's response is, make sure you comment below. Thank you again for watching. This is Kaori Nagao, your Las Vegas lifestyle specialist. And if you're new to my channel, please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment. I would love to hear from you. Thank you again for watching. See you on the next one.